Aaron Eckhart cashes his paycheck with I, Frankenstein.
A Blackfish gets its own documentary.
And we talk Sundance movies.
You've reached critical mass.
Hello and welcome to Critical Mass. I'm Kent Dunn from ShowtimeShowdown.com.
And I'm Rich Bonaducci with TheRealPlace.com. And once again, we're coming to you from Art House Cinema 502 on historic 25th Street in lovely downtown Ogden, Utah.
Yeah, make sure to check out their website and also like their Facebook page. And also support local cinema whenever possible.
Now, speaking of local cinema, we are going to talk about some bigger stuff later.
Yeah.
I, Frankenstein and Blackfish, both of which are getting a little bit of press right now, both
one
good
of
and bad.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about Sundance.
Yeah.
Now, yes, that's true. You know,
You look great, by
I
the way.
already feel a little more intellectual.
Do you?
Yes.
Well, let's talk about Sundance films now for a little bit.
Films, yes.
Yeah, indeed.
These are on vinyl, aren't they, these films? Tell us a little bit what Jesse Eisenberg is doing these days.
You know, this movie is very hard to explain. You know, you have Jesse Eisenberg.
Try.
Yeah, I'll try. Okay. I mean, Sundance, it's always a mixed bag. So Jesse Eisenberg plays this really submissive guy living his life. He's going to be a lifer at his job, and his job sucks. Indeed. Falls in love with a girl. One day, he mysteriously sees himself, his doppelganger. Except for his doppelganger is better at everything than Jesse Eisenberg.
Right.
Jesse Eisenberg becomes obsessed and, you know, kind of goes nuts.
Hilarity ensues.
Hilarity ensues.
Let's take
it's
a
a
look.
Sundance film.
Yes. Is anyone eating pudding or anything?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Cowboys.
Let's take a look at a little bit of The Double.
Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't mind people grinning in your face. I said, bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? You know they're grinning in your face, and they'll jump you up and down. Just as soon as your back a turn, they'll be trying to crush you down. But just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face? Don't mind people grinning in your face. Oh, just bear this in mind, a true friend is hard to find. Don't you mind people grinning in your face?
Okay, this looks pretty wild, as
Yeah.
do many of the movies up at Sundance in general, and specifically this year. How do you market something like this?
It's almost impossible. Because you really can't sell it except for, especially this movie, to a cult audience. Okay, so just to give you some setup, Richard Ayoade, I hope I said that right, who is in the IT Crowd, which a lot of nerds have seen. And
Yeah.
He plays very sitcom character, one note, very funny. He's directed some weird movies. For example, he did Submarine a couple years ago, dark comedy. And then this movie, which is almost not a comedy. I mean, it's funny, but it's more funny uncomfortable. Basically, Jesse Eisenberg works in this place, lives in this apartment building. Everything seems underground. Everything's muted, especially the sounds. Like
Okay.
it could go silent for a long time, and then he'll turn on a water faucet, and it sounds like a raging river. And you're sitting there going, this is artsy. Interesting choice, I guess. He does a good job. I mean, he's very submissive in this. You have Mia Wasikowska, I guess, from, like Alice in Wonderland.
Apologies, Mia, if that isn't right.
Because she's watching.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
And so they kind of live this really humdrum life. The double comes in and just takes his life by storm and ruins his life, essentially. It's based on a Dostoevsky story, and it makes sense. It just feels dark. It feels like this movie was almost made in the early 1900s.
Okay, so I think it got picked up.
Okay.
So when it comes down the mountain, so to speak, what do
Yeah.
you think it will be rated?
It will be rated R. There are about 6 to 7, F-bombs.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it will be popular in England, where, the director is from. Here, I don't know if it's that marketable. It's one of those movies, honestly, to equate it to anything, it would be Terry Gilliam's Brazil.
Oh, wow.
It seems like it was like they took the set of Brazil, filmed this movie. It's like the stepsister of Brazil, if that gives you any inclination to what it's like.
Weird.
Weird.
Weird and good.
Weird and good, yeah.
So what rating would you give something that weird and good?
I would give it a B-. It has grown on me, but still B-.
And now another one I've only seen the trailer for, but it looks equally wild.
It is.
With Michael Fassbender,
Yeah.
called Frank.
But not really Michael Fassbender. Because
He's covered the
he's
whole
wearing
time.
a papier-mâché mask.
Right.
He's not the lead character, but he is the most dynamic character in the movie.
Even under the mask.
Yeah, even under the mask. It stars Domhnall Gleeson from About Time, and he just plays this guy who wants to write music. He basically ends up as the keyboardist for this strange band called the Soranamfers. Basically, an unpronounceable name, they're so hipster. And Maggie Gyllenhaal's in the band, and Michael Fassbender as Frank. And mayhem ensues. They go to a retreat, and it just gets a little weird.
It's kind of like that he has a cultish following of people who want to be like him and
Yep.
learn how to harness
And
the
they're not a
nature
great
of
band.
music and
Yeah.
just learn from Frank.
Yeah, so let's take a look at Frank.
Frank wants us to start everything from scratch.
Color coding.
He's created an entirely new musical notation system.
Universe, like a tiny little galaxy.
We've designed our own instruments.
Ça peut partir par les pieds. On a du pied, etc. Oh putain, il est...
He has initiated a strict regime of physical exercise. Fortunately, we have a safe word for when things get too intense. Chinchilla. It's incredible. Frank finds inspiration in everything.
I find this inspiring.
How does he do this? If I'm to grow as an artist, I must see as he sees.
You could make an entire album out of this one sound.
I dedicate myself to learning his secret, and I will not let anybody get in my way, however desperately they may try.
Somebody's thinking of the key of C. It's me! Keep going! Keep going!
I am more convinced than ever that this band, whether they realize it or not, could achieve greatness. And I will work to take my place at its very heart. I will show them what I am capable of.
Now this looks like another one that will be tough to market.
Yeah. It will be easier than the double, but it has Michael Fassbender in one of the leads.
There
so,
you go.
I mean,
Maggie
that's,
Gyllenhaal.
that's
Yeah, it's
sold
gonna-
right there. I
right.
mean, great actors. But really, it's about an independent band, and and it's kind of a musical in a way.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be for the hipster crowd, the older crowd I saw with at Sundance. I don't know if they were into it, but I could really get into it.
Really? You would... I kind of think that people who are going to Sundance are a little more open-minded,
Yeah.
getting ready to watch something
Yeah.
that is a little bit off-kilter.
Yeah.
A little bit not mainstream. And yet they didn't respond?
No, I mean there were a couple walkouts.
Oh.
Yeah, and I think a movie's not good unless it has a few walkouts, because that's Sundance.
Okay.
But this movie.
Well, then I, Frankenstein is awesome.
But what exactly right? But what movie has Michael Fassbender under a mask nearly the
Yeah.
entire time?
When you have him, you should be showing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's a little bit about mental illness. It's about music. It's about this band that doesn't want to become famous but kind of does, and it works. It's actually very funny. There's a lull in the middle for a while, but the music is great. Domhnall Gleeson is great. Michael
just hang on a
Fassbender is
second.
great.
Yeah, just get there.
Are you ready? Okay. So this
Hello?
movie. This movie would be rated
thanks,
R
babe. Yeah.
for a. I'll just talk to these guys. For a sex scene, it's got F words as well, some violence. It will be rated R. As far as my rating goes, I'm giving Frank a B+. In our next segment, we're going to be talking about Dexter and Cold in July and the Blackfish documentary.
As well as Aaron Eckhart's turn
Yeah, that's
as
better.
the classic monster in I, Frankenstein.
We'll be right back with Critical Mass.